Hi guys, this is Nigel and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I'm showcasing my IKEA cabinet, which I've turned into a mini indoor greenhouse for my plant propagations. If you're also a lover of tropical plants and want to see how many species I can squeeze into this mini greenhouse, and also what plants I'm propagating, then keep on watching. So let's start off with the condition of the greenhouse. I like to keep it pretty warm around room temperature, and the humidity is pretty high as well, mostly above 90%. Now let's go through what I have in here. First up, we have the Philodendron Gigas. It is a climbing philodendron, and right here I have a perfect specimen with multiple big leaves. I love the sheen on the leaves that makes it look so glimmery and shiny. It feels just luxurious to the touch. Turning to the back, we can see more glitter on the surface of the leaf. It is difficult for the camera to capture how glittery it actually is, but in person this looks absolutely stunning. This leaf is relatively new, and so its color is still a little bit olive compared to an older leaf that has deepened into a dark green. Now I have a new leaf over here in orange, and on the top of it is already the tip of a new growth. Once established, Philodendron Gigas are pretty fast growers. Under the right conditions, usually one leaf comes right after the other. Next, we have the Philodendron Melanochrysum that's right here. This small leaf is actually worth 5 months of weight. I've grown it out from a unrooted single leaf cutting. And this big leaf over here, it's where it all came from. This is where the new leaf grew out of. So, even if the cutting has a big leaf, usually the first leaf that comes out of this cutting would be smaller in size. Hidden behind the big leaf is actually a Philodendron Spendid. This is a single leaf cutting being propagated. And you know that it's a successful propagation because the axillary bud has been activated and you can see a growth coming out from the side of the plant. This growth is going to go on to become a whole new plant of its own. Moving on to something that's besides philodendrons, here is a Alocasia. This is my Alocasia Variegated Frydek. I've got to say I've fallen in love with Alocasias after seeing how fast they grow. That being said, they are not the easiest plants to take care of, as they're prone to watering issues and also pests. I have another specimen right here that presents its variegation as more white than yellow. These are the variegated version of the Alocasia Frydek, and because they are less common and more difficult to acquire, their price tag is also much higher than the non-variegated Frydeks. Now, this plant is actually mature enough to have some babies. These pups can also be harvested for further propagations when they are ready. At the back, I have more Philodendron Spendid. These are actually grown from one leaf to its 3 to 4 leaves now. I really enjoy propagating Philodendron Splendids because they are so easy, and also they grow really fast. Something that may look quite similar to the Philodendron Spendid is this Philodendron El Choco Red here. This is a baby-sized El Choco Red propagation. You know it's a El Choco Red because when you turn to the back, you see red. And here I have a new leaf that is absolutely stunning. Moving on, this is a Philodendron strawberry-shaped propagation. I've actually made a video that showed you how I grew this from a chunk to what it is today. So if you would like to know how I did it, you can click on this video that I linked right here. Next up, this is a Philodendron Verrucosum. This is actually the Rojo type, and I've had it for a while now and its size remains small, which makes me believe that unlike the normal Verrucosum, this Rojo type stays in its small shape and size. Here I have a Philodendron White Knight propagation. I took this cutting because it has such great color. And also it is rooted, and so it didn't take long for these baby leaves to come out. I'm super proud and happy about this propagation because these baby leaves show so much potential. So this beautiful cutting actually came from another plant that I have right here. This is what we call the mother plant, and you can see that there's crazy amount of variegation in this one. Here, this new baby leaf is completely white. This is what we call a full moon, and the other leaves show half moons, where half of the leaf is white and half is green. Yes, we do love variegation on our variegated plants, but how much is too much? And over on this tray is an unorganized mess, which I'm not too proud of. It is a collection of random cuttings and propagations. We have Melano, we have Verrucosum, some Epipremnum Albo, Micans, and even a Florida beauty right there. And then instead of having a pot full of Philodendron Micans, I kind of have them hang around and crawl all over this greenhouse freely. Last but not least, I have a Monstera Adansonii right here. It is a really big leaf cutting, and right now it has 2 little baby leaves right here. Like I said before, the leaf cutting can be big, but then the first few leaves that come out usually are smaller in size. Moving on to the bottom shelf, I have more Philodendron Micans just hanging around. Just, want to give that jungle vibe. Now moving on, it is even more crowded down on the bottom shelf. Let's look at this Verrucosum right here first. The Philodendron Verrucosum is definitely one of my top favorite tropical plants. I'm simply in love with the very textured look of the leaves. Behind the Verrucosum, I have a Philodendron Strawberry Shake, and this is one of the mother plants where my propagations came from. For mother plants where you take your propagations from, usually you want the mother plant to have a good amount of variegation. Preferably the mother plant is big in size, and also it is healthy and has no pest issues. Now moving on, we have more highly variegated propagations. This is a Epipremnum Albo, and I see some mint, some green, some white, and then this new leaf comes out completely white. We call it a full moon. Honestly, I'm not too excited about the full moon. Right here we have another Philodendron Strawberry Shake propagation, and this one's have its leaf come out slightly bigger. Compared to the full moon, I'm not too upset about this non-variegated leaf because I think that the propagation is gonna grow faster with a first leaf that has more green. Going back to fully variegated first leaves, here I have another full moon. This is another cutting that is taken from the same mother plant. So we do see genetics come into play for whether your propagations get good or bad variegation. And next to the Epipremnum Albo is a beautiful half-moon Philodendron White Wizard. It was a one-leaf cutting, but now it has grown into a plant of its own. Let me show you how it looks like on the underside, so you can see that I grew this out of a one-leaf cutting. Okay, I know, there are so many plants squished in right here, but this is another Philodendron Strawberry Shake. Beautiful new leaf. It is interesting that the new leaf presents its variegation as more yellow, and the older leaf has a more pinkish tone to its variegation. Next, I have a really cute baby Verrucosum that is grown from a wet stick. It's just chillin', and next to it I have a El Choco Red. The 2 leaves are actually grown from this one big leaf. Turning to the back, you can see some red. On the new leaves, the red is even more stunning at the back. This red will gradually fade away as the leaf matures, as you can see right here. I have even more Philodendron Splendids down here. So you know that I really love this species. For this bigger and taller Philodendron Splendid right here, I've actually grown it on this moss pole. And then the special thing that I did was to cut it while it's still on the moss pole so that I have multiple plants growing on the same pole. So with each section, a new leaf is gonna grow out and eventually it's gonna be a new plant on its own. And so this stick is gonna look much bushier with all the new growth coming out. Now, you only want to cut the plant when you see that the roots have grown and attached themselves to the moss pole. That means that that part of the plant will be able to support itself immediately when it is removed from the main root system. Last but not least, I have another big boy Melano right here. This is a Philodendron Melano. It is a single leaf cutting. It is a big leaf, I think about 14 inches long. Now, let me change my angle to the back so I can let you see the new growth that is coming out. I think I've waited about 3 to 4 months for this to appear, so I'm super stoked about it. One last thing, I have this Philodendron pastazanum. I grew this out from literally nothing, and look how cute it is right now. Actually, just one last thing, I have a Sundew right here. It is a carnivorous plant and it has been helping me with getting rid of some flies in my cabinet. I would say it's pretty low maintenance, and so I would highly recommend you to get it for your cabinet. Alrighty, and that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel down below. You can also leave me a comment if you have any questions. I really appreciate your support. Once again, this is Nigel and thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Adios!